some really upbeat music for what we're going to be discussing today. But anyways, the Jujutsu Kaisen manga is really hard to read. Not because of the complexity of the story, although some people do complain about it. Yes, I do agree that there's a bit too much going on in the later parts of the story. But in this video, I'll be focusing on the art and the fights of the series in general. I'll put a few examples on screen so you know what I mean. These panels are really hard to understand, at least for me. I've talked to some of my friends and they express the same thing, explaining how you really can't understand who's hitting who or what's really happening. I think the complexity of these fights are cranked up to 100 and sometimes even just undecodable. Some of you might say I'm cherry-picking these, but cases like these are abundant in the series. Some of you might also say I'm throwing these panels on screen with no context, but that's not the case. I'll prove it to you by showing you some examples. In this panel, we can see Itadori doing something. There's a big water splash, which we have never seen in the series beforehand, and the water splash doesn't even do anything. He just charges up his fists and then he starts fighting. I don't really know. In the panel before, we see Mahito expressing that they still aren't tired, and we see Itadori slamming his fist into his leg. I don't really understand what's going on here. Maybe some of you might clear it up for me in the comments, but it's just random to me. It just seems random to me. Now, a good example for what a manga fight should look like comes from Dragon Ball Z. I'll show you a panel of Vegeta and Goku fighting. The panel is very simple and easy to understand. Now, I can't really tell you the exact reason behind why the manga is so messy. The author of Jujutsu Kaisen, Gege Akutami, has created 4 one-shots and worked as an assistant beforehand of making Jujutsu Kaisen. I'd say that's enough experience, I don't really know. Jujutsu Kaisen also has a lot of text, which I'd like to talk about more, but I'll just gloss over it briefly. The text is not nearly as much as something you'd see in Dark Continent art from Hunter x Hunter or something like that, but the Jujutsu Kaisen story is complex, so you'd need to explain it with complexity, which makes sense. That's about it. Thanks for listening. We talk about comic book. If you liked it, I'd appreciate it. Goodbye.